Today we're going to talk about how to look good on a Zoom call. I mean, really, guys, we're all on Zoom these days, maybe for business, maybe for personal, maybe you're doing a job interview, and maybe you're just recording a video for YouTube, just like I am, using Zoom. So how can we look our best using, maybe what basic equipment we already have? So I'm going to go over some of the really simple things that you can do and maybe little upgrades that you can add to your office and your background to just improve how you come across on Zoom. Because we all know first impressions do matter. All right, first, do we use laptop, desktop, phone? I think we all have been on a Zoom call where someone is obviously like looking up their nose and then maybe it's looking up at the ceiling and then you're like, are they in the restroom now? I prefer not to do any Zoom calls on phone unless I absolutely have to. I also prefer not to talk to someone that's on their phone because maybe they're in the car and they're just not giving you full attention. So if you're trying to use Zoom in a way that is for professional purposes, it really is best to use a laptop or a desktop. For me personally, I like my laptop because the camera is much better than my big, beautiful desktop I have over here, which looks like this. Terrible. Okay, so the camera quality, it matters to an extent, The one that comes with a MacBook Pro is great. If you don't have, let's say, a MacBook Pro and you have maybe a computer that has not so great a camera, you can always add one on. You can get them at like Target or Best Buy, probably for $15 to $20. I would say if you can, go for a slightly higher priced one, because obviously the higher the price, typically the better the quality. If you want to get really fancy, you can hook up your Canon camera right to your laptop or your desktop. And this is what a fancy camera looks like. And you can have sharp, crisp, beautiful, maybe a little bit bokeh in the background, if you know what that means. It's like nice and blurry and you're sharp and crisp and people are like, oh, how did you get that camera work? But it is not necessary and it does require a few extra steps, a few extra cords, making sure that you're not getting that dreaded EOS webcam does not compute or whatever screen. There are a few more steps and I can walk you through that in a separate video. But for the purposes of keeping it simple, let's just use your laptop. Next is going to be lighting. One of the most important things, one of the things that either makes or breaks your Zoom call. Either you look like you are in a scary dark room or you look like you are in a happy, positive, uplifting space. So what is it about lighting that does that? Well, right now you can see that I have, actually this is natural light coming from a window right over here. I have in the background a light shining against the wall. You can see it is shining against the wall. And then I actually in front of me have one extra light, which I have a piece of paper over to soften the lightness. Just to light me up a little bit more, bring a little bit more light to this side because it is a little bit dark with all the light coming from the window. If you can, it would be great to have the window giving you a little bit more full on light on your face. The only problem with my particular office is I have a closet door here, an exit door here, and ideally you don't want to have doors behind you, because subconsciously it makes the viewer feel like someone's about to come through that door. We've all seen the horror movies where it's like, what's behind that door? Someone's gonna get them. Or especially if they're like looking in the mirror in the bathroom and then you know someone's gonna be in that shower curtain, like you're just waiting for them to jump out. Subconsciously, if you can, avoid having a door behind you, unless maybe it's big, beautiful doorway and it's worth it or unavoidable. So I have behind me one of my pieces of art, which brings me to the background. But before we get to the rest of the background, I want to finish the point about lighting. So we have natural light, we have light that's lighting up the wall, it's creating depth, it's creating a beautiful, soft, even light. It could be even better, but this is with a fairly inexpensive setup. Now, if I went to what would naturally come with the room, this is what it looks like. Okay, so not so good for a few reasons. We're creating some shadows here, which is not going to be very becoming. It has a yellowish tint that is coming down and it's kind of affecting the whole look of the room. And that is because typically you use a warmer light in like bedrooms and houses as versus like a daylight or a fluorescent one, which would probably be even way worse. Think like Walmart lighting. Ooh, yeah, that's even worse than this. But you can tell that this just has a slightly less professional look, a slightly more I'm in a home office kind of look. You can also have fun with color lights and kind of going for that YouTuber look. So a lot of times, I'll do some blue in the background, some purpley fuchsia colors. I try not to do things like green, just because I don't want that witch kind of look, or I don't want anything that feels Halloween-y. Maybe if it is slightly orange or amber, that can be nice. But again, it depends on the context of the video. Is it for YouTube? Is it something that's more social? Is it something that's more professional? And the colored lighting may not be appropriate. Okay, now that we have covered lighting, let's get to the background. What is behind you? What are they looking at? I personally don't like it if the outlets and little maybe things are showing in the background, something that maybe it's a little bit messy or something. I like to keep it as simple behind me as possible while still, for me, expressing my art. So I wanted to have something that's like, hey, I'm an artist. This is kind of, it's abstract. It's pretty easy to look at. I might change it out in the future. But you can also play with things like having a little bit of an angle of the wall behind you to give you depth. So just play with where is your laptop? Where is the camera? What angle is it looking at? I don't personally like those outlets showing, so I could even put something in front of that. Also, if you have a standing desk, where is the laptop in comparison to where you're standing? Is it too high? Is it too low? If you're trying to hide like a double chin, here is a tip. Get a box or some books, and especially if you're in a hotel room and you just put it right under the laptop to lift it up, and then it will give you more of a downward looking feel. But then again, you have the issue of, oh no, what's in the background? You find what works for you in the location you're in. If you're traveling a lot, you'll realize there's issues with that, and you'll have to get creative with finding books in hotel rooms or luggage or random like an ice bin to be able to lift up your laptop. So get creative when you're out and about. And if you don't have art that you want to put behind you, or maybe an inspirational photo, something that kind of represents your personality, sometimes just a white wall is best. It's way better than having a messy kitchen, or having just something that says, I'm at home, I'm not in an office, I'm not in a working space. And of course, this all depends on the context of the video. So one cool thing that you can do is you can actually blur the background in Zoom. So in order to blur the background in Zoom, just simply go down to the video here, click the little caret going up, and then, oh, there we go, blur my background. So let's say you do have the messy kitchen or some sort of unavoidable background. This just takes care of the problem. And look how good the technology's gotten it. My hands go in and out of being blurry, but if you're not moving around a lot, if you're pretty still, this is a great solution a lot of times. So some businesses don't like this blurred background effect, but I think that this is a great solution if you have a messy background and you just want to be, just focus on me, because I am the thing that you are talking to. Focus on me and not my crazy background. You can also be in San Francisco. However, I would say that this effect is kind of a little cheesy, and I wouldn't use it for most scenarios. Every once in a while, could be fun. You can also go into settings and then background effects and video filters, and all of a sudden have a mustache. It's very professional. No, actually, wait. You can have a beret while you're in San Francisco. I think, do we have an Eiffel Tower? I feel like that would be a way better background. I don't think we do. But we can go to the beach, and then we can, let's see, what do we have? Yep. Oh, I have a flower in my hair. There we go. They have gone all out. You can do all sorts of crazy things. Even, I'm a cat. You don't even have to be yourself these days. You can just be a cat on Zoom at the beach. But I would really recommend not doing that, not doing this. How do we get rid of this? Okay, go to none. Okay, so I would say it would be best to leave that as is and go to video. Touch up my appearance is a lovely little trick if you want to go full on realistic, or if you want to go to glamour shots. This is going to give everything just a little bit soft haze. And I think this is just a little bit too soft. So I'm going to go back to video settings, video, and I like to keep the touch up my appearance to about half so that it is fairly realistic to what I look like. But that's a few ways if you would like to make everything look just a little bit better. Number 4 is, what are you wearing in your video? Are you wearing something that makes you look like you're naked? Oh, okay. But if you do want to wear a tank top, simple little cover up goes a long way. Now, good to go. Maybe add a necklace. Or even though it's really hot outside, you can still wear a tank top, but just wear something that looks a little nicer. Maybe accessorize a little, have fun. Guys, you might be wearing something a little different, but a polo, a button-up, something other than just a t-shirt is generally going to be better. It depends on, again, the context of the meeting and what can you get away with. But it never hurts to be the best dressed one. But I'm just trying to say, like, what you're wearing kind of says something about you, like, what kind of vibe are you giving across? And it's pretty simple to make some minor adjustments and try to, come across a little bit more professional. A little bit more professional. I say just add an accent and it's just right up there, right? Except for I tend to go from British to like Irish to like Australian or something. I don't know. I end up in all across the world with my accents, but okay, don't do an accent. This is just silly. I just like doing accents. I can't explain it. Anywho, back to where we were. Where were we? Oh, you know what? So another tip, another little minor weird tip, but I learned this from someone who actually was Irish. If you are going to drink water on a meeting, don't have like a big bottle like this. So when I go to drink from this, it's like quite a show, as versus if we just keep a nice little glass nearby and then we just take a nice little sip. It's just, there's something about the big bottle, especially if they have the big, bright, colorful casing on the outside. And then it's like standing out, or maybe you have a jug or a mason jar or something that's just like not coming across that professional. Just being aware of all the little things, everything from your background to how you are looking to lighting to what are you doing when you're on the call. Are you, where are your hands? Where are they going? I know I'm talking a lot with my hands, but just being aware of everything, that how it's coming across, your mannerisms. If your computer is over here and you're constantly looking over at it, and you're not, you're typing, maybe they can hear you typing, your phone does a ding and they can hear it. It comes across as though you're not paying attention. So, make sure that you have your phone on silence. Maybe you even have it turned upside down so you are not looking at the messages that are coming in. Try to be focused and look at the camera. That is the most important thing. Have eye contact with the camera. If you don't know where it is, keep pointing with your finger until you get on the camera and you figure out where it is on your laptop or your computer, and smile, have eye contact. Don't be constantly looking down writing notes or constantly on another computer screen. Don't have it where when you're looking at them, you can see them on your other screen and all they see is the side of your face, because it just comes across very detached, very disengaged. And especially if you're on a call that matters, you want to be looking into the camera and giving them your full attention. So these are the simple things that you can do to look better on Zoom, come across more professional. This is great for interviews, for recording things, for just general meetings and just showing up in life. This is something you can use in multiple different aspects. I know nowadays we all have pajamas on the bottom half, but the top half can still look good. I hope this has helped. And if you have any funny stories you want to share below in the comments about Zoom calls you've been on, maybe things people have done, things they shouldn't have done, share it with us. Don't drop any names. Keep it anonymous, but share a funny story with us. Let us know what your thoughts are. And thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.